Hey, good morning, everybody, and welcome back to the channel. Today we're diving into A House of Dynamite, a movie that asks, hey, what if everything you secretly worry about happening actually did? This is going to be a spoiler light review, but if you have yet to see this movie, I recommend that you go ahead and go and watch it and then come back and join us here on the channel and we'll talk about the review and the ending, which we will explain in a next video that will drop here in the next couple of days. So let's get it out of the way. Yes, I liked A House of Dynamite. I liked it in the way you like a roller coaster you immediately regret stepping onto, but still brag about surviving. It's intense, it's grounded, and it absolutely thrives on the raw tension baked into every second and every scene of this film. Especially because America's biggest fear is basically the movie's plot. I wasn't relaxed. Not for a second. My blood pressure was doing CrossFit. So one of the smartest things the movie does is split itself into three real-time timelines: the Situation Room, the Intercept team, and the President. And instead of bouncing around with confusing flashbacks like every other mediocre thriller from 2008, this film treats it like a straight line, one that's rapidly approaching a drop-off. But for me, the strongest timeline by far was the Intercept team. And I'll be honest with you, as someone who's been in the military, this timeline hit harder than the missile that they're trying to stop. The pressure, the urgency, the stakes, all of it felt painfully real. Because nothing says bad day at work like knowing if you screw up, tens of millions of people will actually die. So the movie doesn't build tension, it marinates in it for almost the entire 2 hours. And some moments hit like a truck. Let's go through a short list, shall we? So, 1, the soldier stepping out, immediately vomiting because apparently bodily functions are optional when you're under that much stress. Captain Olivia Walker taking out that tiny dinosaur toy and placing it on her desk. The soldier calling his mom, fully aware that she might be killed, but not telling her. And that's a gut punch I didn't order. And of course, the president holding the fate of humanity on a single phone call, like he's debating what he's getting for lunch. These scenes didn't just create tension, they absolutely weaponized it. Let's talk about Captain Olivia Walker, who absolutely carried the emotional weight of this film. In between crisis commands, she's grounding the entire room with these tiny human moments. She's the person you want in charge when everything goes sideways. General Brady, peak Warhawk energy. If you told me he sleeps in a bunker with sunglasses on, I'd probably believe you. Jake Barrington, the man who got thrown in to the deep end without floaties and still manages to tread water. Now let's talk about who didn't quite land. Kathy Rogers. Now listen, her FEMA dialogue felt like someone fed ChatGPT a FEMA pamphlet and hit auto-generate. Moses Ingram's performance did not fully click either. Not terrible, but it's just off so much that, I didn't like this character at all. So, two themes slammed into me like a freight train. Panic under pressure. The movie captures the way stress turns your brain into a malfunctioning Windows XP computer. It's raw, honest, and it nails the reality of high-stakes decision-making. And humanity and leadership. When global consequences hinge on one choice, leadership isn't inspirational speeches, it's agonizing responsibility. And the film does not shy away from that, not one bit. So let's talk about the pacing. I thought it was fantastic. The real-time format gives you that show 24 style heartbeat, where everything's kind of minute by minute, running across three different timelines and seeing the perspectives of everybody and the decisions that they have to make. The cinematography, it's grounded, efficient, and emotionally well-tuned. And to be honest with you, the background music, I couldn't tell you. I was too busy forgetting to breathe because this movie had me sucked in. All right, everybody, it's time to address that elephant in the room, that huge, ambiguous ending. But it was on purpose. And while I understand the artistic choice, that tension is the whole point, I'm also not going to lie, I wanted a resolution. Not because the film failed, but because it succeeded in such a way. It wound me up like a spring-loaded mousetrap and then said, okay, go home, think about it. It works, but I still want answers, and so do you. Which is why our next video is literally going to be A House of Dynamite, ending explained, and what actually happened. In closing, I would absolutely recommend A House of Dynamite to anyone who likes intense thrillers that don't just sit on the edge of their seat, they glue you to it. Because this one kept me up well beyond the time I should have been in bed, probably till about 1:30, because I was so invested in finding out what was going to happen at the end. And there's not too many movies recently that actually do that for me. With that, though, the rewatch value was low because the tension just won't hit the same once you know what's coming and what the ending is. But that very first viewing, wow, absolutely electric. It was amazing. So, everybody, thanks for watching. And remember, the only one thing scarier than a nuclear crisis is YouTube demonetization. Subscribe, drop a comment, and make sure you don't miss the next video. The full ending explained. And until then, everybody, I hope you have a great day and a great night.